Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Jim Boy, and today I'm going to be doing the review for the 2014 United States Grand Prix. But before we get into the weekend, big talking points were spreading to Caterham and Marussia, as they were not going to be racing for the US and the Brazilian Grand Prix because of financial reasons. And yeah, massive disappointment, massive shock actually to both those teams. You know, as I really like those teams. You know, they are great. They are great to watch. You know, during the Grand Prix. You know, sometimes. You know, especially Marussia. You know, Marussia. I like Marussia so much, especially from their ninth place that they had at Monaco. You know, bitter. Sadness as well, to Jules Bianchi's injury there. I mean, the team has had to go through highs and lows, and same with Caterham, but mainly Caterham have been suffering from a lot of lows due to like financial reasons and whatnot, and buyers as well for that matter. So really, Caterham are in a really deep hole that they are trying to get themselves out of, and I really feel that Formula One needs to, I think Formula One needs to be a bit more cheaper, to be honest, especially with their engines. I mean, yes, I know the engines, the technology of these cars are so more advanced than they were in 2013, but still, you gotta, I mean, I just wish, I wish Formula One, could make the engines, make the tyres, make everything, a bit more cheaper, so that a lot of the smaller teams can, get into Formula One easily and, maybe be successful. Who knows? So, yeah, I mean, you've got to have those smaller teams in there. I would really don't want to see 5 or 4 teams in Formula One. To be honest, it'd be nice to see 12 or 13 in there, to make it interesting, to be honest. So, yeah, big shock, big sadness to the loss of Marussia and Caterham during that weekend, and same for Brazil as well, for that matter as well. So, yeah, they will be missed. They will be missed. So, as well, Vettel had to start from the pit lane. He chose to start from the pit lane, as he had to make an engine change, which was his sixth component, making him get a penalty, grid penalty. I mean, so instead of the team, starting way up the grid and then having the grid penalty, they decided to start him from pit lane. A very wise decision, I would say. To be honest, as of that, they can make changes which could help them during the race. So yeah, pretty maybe a bold decision. And in the past, Vettel can get up the field. We saw in Abu Dhabi where Vettel got from the pit lane to third. So I think Vettel's looking more in Abu Dhabi, to be honest. So yeah. Bold and wise decision from Vettel there, and the team as well for that matter. So moving on into qualifying. By the way, if you don't know, how it works. Basically, Q1 we lose 4 cars rather than 6 cars. Q2 is the same, we lose 4 cars rather than 6 cars, and then it's just down to the 10 cars. With a 12-minute session to battle it out on who will start in the top 10 positions. So going into Q1, like I said, Vettel going for the 1 lap, splash and dash, just to try and make the FIA, make Red Bull and Vettel start the race comfortably. So yeah, that was what happened there. Romain Grosjean tried to get into Q2, but made a mistake, unfortunately. Ran wide at turn 12, and cost him an opportunity of getting into Q2. Unlucky for him there, and yeah, it's unlucky for him. moving into Q2, nothing much really happened, to be honest. Just normal suspects, you know, were out of Q2, and the normal suspects were out of Q2, bar Adrian Sutil. Adrian Sutil, an unbelievable performance by him there. You know, I'm massively happy for Adrian Sutil and the team for that matter, because they've been having to deal with a lot of woes, to be honest. You know, I think reliability and speed wise, and for them to be, you know, inside the top 10 and to be able to have a chance of scoring points is massive for the team there. So yeah, happy for Sauber there. So yeah, big congrats to the team for getting themselves into Q3 there, first time this season. And then moving into Q3, it was a head-to-head shootout between the two Mercedes. I think mostly Rosberg had the upper hand going into Q3, bar Hamilton's little pride because of Hamilton's braking issues. He said on the radio that when he after he locked up his brakes, he would report flat spot issues, which was really unusual, because during practice Lewis looked really comfortable and looked like he had the measure over Rosberg. But going into qualifying, it changed. The tables had changed, and Rosberg looked like he had the advantage over Hamilton, rather Hamilton being over Rosberg there. And as a result, Rosberg got onto pole position. Good job by Rosberg there. Hamilton tried his best to beat Rosberg, but couldn't do it, sadly. He had to qualify in second place, and good qualifying for Williams there. Starting third and fourth. Good job by them. Massa getting ahead of Bottas there. So Massa was third, Bottas was fourth. Good qualifying for Ricciardo, fifth place. Good job. I think Alonso was sixth. Good job by him. And also, as well, for that matter, Button, I think he started seventh or something like that. He had to incur a grid penalty, which dropped him down to 10th place. Unlucky for him there, but it is what it is. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what it is, to be honest. I'm not quite sure if it's gearbox penalty or whatnot. But like I said, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, starting from 12th. So yeah, so a pretty decent qualifying session, you would say. So moving on into the race, it was a good start by the two Mercedes. Ricciardo had a really bad start, really. Dropped down into 7th place there. I think 7th or 8th, I'm not quite sure, to be honest. And then at the end of the first lap, we saw a massive accident between Perez and Sutil, and a little bit of Raikkonen, to be honest, but Raikkonen managed to not get a puncture from that. And unlucky for Sutil. You know, chances of points for the team looked pretty dismal, to be honest there, which was unfortunate. And unfortunate for Perez. I think Perez was a little bit clumsy going into the corner there, maybe a little bit too optimistic as well, for that matter. So yeah, unlucky for both of them. And then as the safety car, during the safety car as well, but most of the drivers, like down like in the top 8, were pitting for fresh tyres, for medium and soft tyres. Vettel made 2 stops to cover the mandatory pit stop, so he could do the exact same thing as Rosberg did at Sochi. So yeah, a pretty risky decision, I would say, to be honest, because, you know, I mean, because I felt like this track wasn't going to be the same as Sochi, degradation-wise, so you would think that was too risky for Vettel there, which was the case, to be honest, as he had to make another stop. So yeah, a gamble. I think a gamble not working for him. So yeah, unlucky for Vettel there. And then as the safety car came out, as the safety car came out, the two Mercedes were out in front, obviously. from the two Williamses, and then we saw a great move by Ricardo going around the outside a bit. I think going around the inside. I'm not quite sure. I think it was turn one, going around the inside or outside into turn one, making a move on Alonso, moving up into 5th place, and then later on Rosberg, and then after that, I think we saw a lot of good battling with Maldonado, with the Lotuses and the Toro Rossos. They had pretty good tussles around, so yeah. And then after that, Rosberg pitted first, changed. I think it was onto the medium. I'm not quite sure. I think Hamilton did the same as well, but after that first pit stop, Lewis was really closing in on Nico Rosberg. And why? Because on that first pit stop, Lewis Hamilton, I believe what happened was that the team made the perfect change, like the perfect adjustment to the front wing, which helped Lewis get ahead of Nico Rosberg, which he did obviously down the inside, going into turn 12. It was very close on the exit, as Nico had to avoid hitting Lewis's rear. Thankfully, they didn't make contact, and yeah, Lewis just drove out in front, ahead of ahead of Nico Rosberg there. And then after that, we saw we saw a good battle. We saw like a little teeny battle between Alonso and Vettel. They were battling pretty hard. Alonso got ahead, obviously, Vettel down the straight, overtook him round the outside on the straight to take, I believe, was 6th place. So good overtake by Alonso there, and Button really making a big train on the last few laps of the race over the Lotuses and the Toro Rossos, and a little bit of Raikkonen for that matter, to be honest. So yeah, a pretty good tussle, but with a few laps to go, Vern made an opportunistic move on Grosjean, which, I mean, what an impact that was, you know. Vern hit Grosjean, and I believe Grosjean after that was really struggling. I think he might have had geometry, like maybe steering problems from his car there. So unlucky for Grosjean, but you know, I think Vern was a little bit too clumsy and a little bit optimistic, you know, to be honest, because that was a really long way back, you know, from Vern there. I think Vern should have just waited out, and I think Vern should have waited out until the long straight to make an overtake on Grosjean there. And then after that, I believe Vern got ahead of Button for 8th place. And then Button after that just dropped. He was like 10th. I think he finished like he dropped to like 9th, 10th, and then he dropped to 11th. And then after that, I think he came home in 11th there. So disappointing from Button, but what can you do? You know, what could you do? You know, he was struggling with his tyres. He was struggling with the rear as well, for that matter. So you know, disappointing, but you know, that's racing at the end of the day. So. Yeah, and also another thing as well, Vettel on the last few laps made a pretty risky decision to pit with a few laps to go for the soft tyres, and boy did that risk pay off. He managed to get himself up into 7th place, you know, as a result, and was only a few tenths behind Alonso, I heard. So yeah, what a bold drive what a fantastic drive, you know, by the great man, by Sebastian Vettel, the 4-time champ there. I mean, just unbelievable, you know. Shows that he's got some fighting power, and shows that he's got some pace under him, even when, you know, at the beginning of it, he was struggling massively. So, yeah, a good drive at the end there. But in the end, it was Lewis Hamilton's day as he picked up his 32nd victory, I believe, of his career. An absolutely unbelievable drive. Kept Nico behind after he had overtaken Nico. And yeah, a beautiful, beautiful drive from Lewis Hamilton there. Nico Rosberg coming home in second. Good drive from him there. Had to settle for second place. And Ricciardo getting up to third place. Keeping Massa behind there. Unbelievable. Good drive by Ricciardo there. Awesome. So, yeah, guys, that's it. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll catch you next time. It's your boy Jim 8. I'm out. Peace.